Come on, bud. There we go.
Sup?
Hi, guys.
Good evening. And happy Halloween.
There's a wild Tiffy in the quote unquote audience.
Yes.
She's gonna be hanging out and doing the live with us tonight. And told you that we might have a special guest, and guess fuck what? A wild Tiffy has appeared, and her presence
has a wild Tiffy.
her presence is very effective. So I'm festive tonight, and I'm wearing my my bow tie.
Hold on. You'll have to get a little closer to the camera.
There you go, Jenny. I hooked him up just for you.
It is braided.
He's French braided down both sides and then goes into a single on the bottom. It's all fancy.
And I've got a candy bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had to give the diabetic the candy.
You look lovely, good sir. You look lovely.
And pour your sugar on me?
In the name of love.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Jenny said, nicely played, Steve.
Hey, I told you I'd have one of the girls do, and I did.
I just stood there. Tiffy did all the work. She did a great job. Actually, because, I'm like, how the fuck do you French braid? It was a whole thing. But it's tarot night, y'all. And
It sure is.
We're doing stuff and things. We're not going to do too many announcements tonight, but the main one is on the 16th of November, there will be a class.
We are going to be doing the 300 series class in November. It's going to be on entities and attachments. I'll be teaching that one, so if you guys are interested, we'll be doing all kinds of cool stuff, going into the most common entities that people run across, and possible attachments. And there is going to be some workshopping for that. So if you guys are interested in understanding what goes bump in the night, we're going to do the thing. Also, for all of Miss Joanna's events for November and until further notice, they are canceled. So Miss Joanna is not going to be doing her drum circles or her shamanic classes. She is taking time. So for all intents and purposes, we are to state that she has retired. So good luck to Miss Joanna and what it is that she's going to be doing. And we have been all the better for her involvement in our lives. And she's been a great teacher to a lot of us. So
absolutely.
Just wanted to let everybody know, anybody who was planning on being at the Missing Elements throughout November for Miss Joanna's things, Miss Joanna is not going to be doing those. She is also not going to be back at the Mystical Market. She is taking time. So she is 100% off the clock. Except for if you are a veteran or know a veteran that would be interested in soul fragment retrieval for PTSD and other traumas, please feel free to reach out to her. She is still accepting people for that project and that healing up until the end of the year, and may continue that forward. But as far as her main shamanic practices, at least as far as public, those have ended as of right now.
They have, and we're really excited for her. Hoping she really enjoys retirement. It's going to be some good stuff, y'all. As far as things moving forward, that's kind of where we'll stop the announcements tonight. It's Halloween, and we're feeling kind of fucking festive. So, if you'd like a reading, please let us know. Stars get you bumped to the top of the list and give you the option for an all read. If you have a specific question or you want a specific reader, just let us know in the comments.
We'll be hanging out with you guys until about 9:30, 10 o'clock at the latest.
Yep.
And, you know, because it's a holiday. We
Yeah.
would like to enjoy it and spend some time, too. So, grab your extra trick-or-treat candy or your popcorn or your alcohol, whichever, and, you know, get your cards dead.
Absolutely. We do have somebody who would like a reading.
Okay.
Jenny, for you.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Hi, guys.
What do I do with that?
Thanks
Yep.
for watching.
Yeah,
You have a
thank you
question,
for watching.
Jenny?
Yes. State of the Obi address.
Okay.
Happy Halloween, y'all.
Okay. So we're checking in on Obi, huh?
Yep.
Let's see. And guys, remember, all the readings are 100% free. As everybody has been saying, stars get you bumped to the top of the list, and you get the option for an all read, but it's first come, first serve as far as free readings.
Yep. And we're cutting those off at about
9:30, 9:45.
yep.
Unless there's a lot of you that want readings, and then we'll move to 10. But it's a hard cutoff at 10. All right. Okay. That's interesting. Alrighty. I was hoping he'd pop up for you. So I'm using, because I'm a nerd, I'm using the Marvel deck for you, Jenny. We're both nerds. We're both those kinds of nerds. And superheroes are cool. It's also fucking Halloween, and costumes are costumes. So the first card that we get is Rogue and Gambit, and it says, "Let love in." This is a relationship where Rogue is a mutant that can't touch other people because when she does, she siphons their life force as well as their powers. Gambit is a mutant that has nothing but emission. He's kinetic energy incarnate. So he has the potential to constantly feed her, and she has the need to constantly feed. They can't actually be together in a healthy way because it becomes something of a danger to both of them. But they're actually in love. They love each other. This tells me that the situation is that one side or the other is being timid because they don't understand where the other side is. So it's one of those deals of Obi's feeling timid because he doesn't know that you're not or that you are. He's picking up on it. and vice versa. You're feeling timid because you're worried about Obi. The problem is that both of you need to quit being pussies and actually do it.
It's an 18+ show, guys.
Sure
We've
is.
got a ticker. We've got a ticker. We've got a ticker. But
It also says right below me.
yeah, so I mean, it's posted everywhere. But that's pretty much what's going on. Is the cards are literally calling you out. If you have a love for the horse, then express the love, because you already know that the horse loves you. Next, it shows your aggravation. You know, the particular struggle that you currently have. We have Ghost Rider, and his phrase is "Vengeance is mine." And between these two cards, it states the frustration. You want to go out and do the thing, and Obi is waiting on you to do the thing. But there are complications, there are certain things that we know about that are getting in the way of that. And it makes it a little bit of a struggle, and it gets frustrating. It gets hard. But, and this is the card that I was hoping would come up for you. It's actually one of my favorite cards in the whole fucking deck. And as far as mutants go, Nightcrawler is literally one of my favorite X-Men. The Nightcrawler card is a beautiful card, and it says, "In my eyes, I am beautiful." Nightcrawler is a mutant that is born from a mutant, a shapeshifter, and actually a demon, and has the ability to teleport. But to look at him, he is very demonic looking. He's very harsh. But he's also an ordained Gregorian priest. He's actually a Christian and an exorcist. He's a pretty cool character. But everyone shunned him from the church. Regardless of his faith, everyone shunned him because he looked like a demon. And to him, he looks the way that he does because it allows him the opportunity to walk on both sides. He is a demon that is of the light. And because of that, he has a love for himself that other people don't understand and can't comprehend. These three cards together literally state that it's time to actually stop worrying about where Obi is and actually go and spend time. Worrying about where he is isn't doing you anything but stressing you out. Going and spending time with the horse allows you to actually know where the horse is. You can ask other readers, you can ask other opinions, but until you actually go and spend the time and do the thing, it's not going to do any good, because all it's doing is, well, we're telling you the same thing over and over and over, and all it's doing is cycling. Just take the moment. Even if all you're doing is going out and grooming him, or all you're doing is going out and giving him some kisses, or if all you're doing is walking him with the reins, or if you go out and you decide to take a ride for a little bit, any of that, a little bit of time goes a long way, chick. It's going to be okay. You just got to make the moves, make the choice, take the action. Hopefully that helped out some.
Next, we actually have somebody from England that popped in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Jenny did say thank you, by the way.
You're very welcome. Hopefully it helped.
And she said it did. So next up we have, and I hope I'm saying your name right, Nusha. And she wants a general reading. I think Raymond would actually be a good one to read her.
Okay. Let's see what next one will work for Miss Nusha.
Hello from Kentucky, by the way. It's nice to see you.
jokes tonight.
Do what?
Actually, everyone go with that deck.
I have to always have jokes. Madam,
Circle
old lady.
the door.
Anyway,
Going with the Star Dragons tonight.
Where did this girl live in England? I hope you like England.
I've always wanted to go check it out.
That is the plan as soon as I can get there. Miss Nusha.
I mean, if we eventually all make it up there, we can just make it a motherland tour.
I'm down.
Same.
Do that, then take a small jump over to Ireland too.
Oh yeah. That's part of the motherland tour.
Just start a fist fight in a bar.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, it'll feel like home then.
probably kick us out.
And then, go from there and go to the next bar and start another fist fight.
None of us are associated with Campbell's, right?
No.
Not
Fair enough. Should be fine then.
All right. 4 cards it is. Let's see what we've got here.
Excuse me.
All right. Miss Nusha. This actually seems to be a very good deck for you tonight. You're trying to redefine yourself. You're trying to find out who you are, especially, now that you've changed where you live. This is, it's a journey of self-discovery. It's, finding out what's actually important to you. Just one thing really remember is as you do that, take time to take it and, break the chains and break old habits. Some old habits are hard to get rid of, but that's one of the important things is, taking the time to take and as you're rediscovering, break those old habits. Felt incomplete. I needed an extra card. And what's great about that last card is it's the legacy card. So there you go. Persistence. Don't be so quick to stop something because it's hard. If it's something that pulls you toward it, push forward, even when it's hard. Because we can't know our limits if we don't take and try to find our full strength. But other than that, you seem to be like you're doing pretty good, chick. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope that actually hits home. My cards tend to be short and sweet instead of.
It's not always a bad thing.
No.
Said, oh yes, that's something I needed to hear. I want everything for yesterday and give up easily. So true.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Next
Well,
up is Tyree.
like I said, I hope it helped. Thank you.
What's your cats?
Mine.
He said the cats. And I don't have that deck out tonight.
Fair enough.
They didn't want to.
Okay. Does he have a question?
General.
Godspeed. I like cats. Cats are awesome. They're half in and half out, and walk on both the side of the living and the side of the dead. They know things that we don't, and communicate with things that we can't. So they always have a little bit better insight and have a tendency to bring the mundane into spiritual situations so that things are well rounded when they explain it. I like my cats. All right, let's see what we got. Tyree wanted a general, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir, he did.
That's interesting. Okay. So there's two sides to this particular situation. One is there is a deep-seated need to hunt and prey. Something on the tip of your tongue, in the back of your mind, right on the edge of your heart that you're wanting, that you're needing to express or find specifically something that seems to be a mystery, but really kind of isn't. It's more of a, I don't want that to be the answer because it's easy, or I don't want that to be the answer because it's painful. And in this particular case, it seems like both. Let's see what else we get real quick so I can get a little bit of insight. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so when was the last time that you actually spent time with your guides? It's one thing to have a talk when you're forced to. When have you actually spent time with your guides? When was the last time you actually did a proper meditation or a proper journey? The reason being is they seem to be screaming in your ear. You have not just the animals, but you have people that have been trying to talk to you for quite a long time. Specifically somebody that you knew. Reason being, I have the gatekeeper, the guardians, and the charmer literally speaking about guides and them being the reason why you can't find the answer for yourself. So there's a tendency to fill that particular void of a non-conversation with a new book, with a new skill set, with a new deck, with a new, as opposed to actually biting the bullet and doing the things that are needed. If you would have this particular conversation, and the reason why I'm being vague is you already know who the fuck I'm talking about. So if you would actually have this conversation, things would turn out a lot better. Just pulled the Innocence card, which in this particular deck is a lot like the Fool in the Major Arcana. Possibilities open up. The world opens up. you're able to actually see things for what they are and move forward without any major concern. And it is a woman. More than likely a mother or grandmother, because we drew the queen, which is the empress in this particular deck. And the reason why we're not talking is we don't want to open that particular wound. The last card I'm drawing for you is the Bastion. A bastion is a place that is the last fortification. It's where the women, the children, the elderly, and the sick go in times of war, and is in the very back. That way they are the furthest away from any kind of battle. But it is also the heaviest fortified area that you could possibly be in. The walls are up, the denial's in, and eventually you're going to have to talk to them one way or the other. Spend the time, man. It's not going to be as bad as you think it is. It is my reading.
Hopefully that helped, Tyree.
And they're kind of feisty tonight.
It's Halloween.
It
They
is.
sure are.
It is their night.
So, next reading. And guys, just as a reminder, if you'd like a reading, please let us know in the comments. They are free. Just let us know the question you have and the reader preference. So I'm Pat, that's Steve, and Raymond is the one with the hat on. So stars get you bumped to the top of the list. And the option for an all read. So that's all of us reading is a possibility. And just let us know. Currently, the next person in line is Pam Harris, and she wants you and Raymond to read, Steve.
Oh, okay.
The question is, I'm embarking on a new journey I started about a year ago. I'm wondering if it's going to be successful.
We use the granddad deck.
Kyrie did say it helped.
I hope it did, man.
We love you, Tyree.
We sure do, buddy.
She said an all read would be great.
Tyree, I've got a delivery for you, and when it gets there, I expect you to actually put it out.
It's me.
Put you out.
Yeah, I'm a special delivery that gets put out on the corner.
You have a bow.
I do. I'm pretty.
Oh, we have someone from Australia.
Hello.
Thank you for watching. I'm Mark Lee. And they would like to read it too. Cool.
And as far as the reading, just let us know if you have a question and if you have a reader preference. I'm Pat. That's Steve. Raymond is the one with the hat on. Just let us know.
Raymond is the hat man.
Raymond is the hat man.
He's the hat man.
Oh, there's not an option to send stars tonight.
Oh, there's not?
I don't know.
Interesting.
That's weird.
It's Halloween.
Yes.
Well, I mean, nothing's exactly been working correctly since we started tonight. So.
True.
That is very true. So let's do this. Since stars aren't possible tonight, fuck it, it's a holiday. If you would like an all read, let us know.
Yep. So, let me answer real quick on this.
Very good. So far, good stuff on my end. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing bad.
You do, Russell.
And this is for Pam,
This is for Pam.
and she is wanting an all read, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is about the new endeavor.
New endeavor, yes.
Okay. Awesome. Ray, go ahead, man.
All right. You've been questioning this a lot for a minute, haven't you? Because I have a lot of you're trying to carve your own path, but you're struggling to see if one, you have the resources, but also if you have the space and time to do it exactly the way you actually want to do it. And you're starting to find those limits. Things keep popping up, something gets in the way. Oh, look, hey, we're supposed to make this happen today, and it gets pushed back to another time. And it's not from, yeah. And it looks like, the energy is still there. The willingness to do is still there, obviously, or you wouldn't be asking the question. But part of it, the card that caught my interest was the harmonious in action, the tranquility. Sometimes not pushing makes things move faster. Sometimes giving it that space to take and build on its own makes it work better. And that's about what I got for this.
Go ahead, Jake.
So I got a lot of the same stuff that Raymond did, but a couple of things that I got were a bit more on the clarifying side as to why. Because the cards that I drew were the dream, and in this deck specifically, it's Alice in Wonderland. Alice thinks when she starts the whole process of her specific journey that it's, awesome and super cool, and then she gets overwhelmed extremely fast because it's overwhelming being somewhere that you actually created things, the place that you made that was your own. Just remember that the moments that you feel like you're not strong enough, you actually are. Empowerment can be dangerous, but if you need it to get through the moment, use it. You've got the tools that you have that you need. But you got to make a choice for yourself on this one if you actually want to continue doing this. Because that's kind of where I'm running into a wall for the reading. Is it's almost like you're looking for the validation to see if you should continue, but that's not something that I can answer for you. I can give context and clarification, but it has to be a choice you make for you.
So this particular deck that I'm using is usually the soft-hearted deck. This is the squish deck. A lot of people call it the granddad deck because it has that kind of elderly wisdom sort of feel to it. And it is not disappointing. So the first two cards that you have are build and fertility, which means that what you're doing is the right thing. The one thing that can be said, though, is that you do need to make sure that you're not building a house on sand. You are actually building a foundation first. A lot of times we feel as though we're on shaky ground because we don't trust the foundation. We don't trust what it is that we started with. And at this particular point, that's what's making you second guess things. It's not just about the plan ahead. It's literally about where it is that you start. If you start in a position that may not be without its risks, but has a lot more reward to it, then you know that your foundation is solid and that it is going to give you something in the end. The next two are caution and a lack of strength. This is literally doubling down on what I got at the beginning. And this is a situation where it's a lot like what Raymond was talking about with being uncertain of resources and what Pat was talking about being empowered. There is a difference between being an empowered woman and a strong woman. An empowered woman takes the opportunity to flex, to have that moment of, all right, I'm doing it. But it's not real confidence. It's literally just a massive push, a strain to show something, to prove something. A strong woman never has to talk about their strength. It's known. Now it's time to find the strength. Now it's time to actually, refocus on your decision. Why is it that you started what it is that you started? Why is it that you're doing what it is that you're doing? Do you have the particular reasoning? And that goes into the last card, which is depth. We're going to have to dig deep here. This is obviously something that you want. This is obviously something that you've chosen for yourself. So you need to rediscover why it is you did in the first place. Once you do, you're going to realize that your foundation is solid and you're going to be able to start building correctly. You got this, chick. You really do.
Do it, Pam.
So I am gonna have to run grab a charger real quick. But
There's one connected to the PS5. Oh, or are you talking
for the laptop.
For the laptop.
Next up on the list is Steve. So Pam said, Steve, very much so. Everything you said is spot on. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Next up on our list is our friend from Australia, Gaynor.
Actually, it should be Russell. Russell's on there.
Yeah, Russell's after Gaynor.
Russell won it. No, Russell's ahead of Gaynor. No. Gaynor said yeah first. Yeah, Gaynor, Russell, Mark. I'm sorry, that's my fault.
It's okay.
It's okay. Gaynors for who?
Raymond, General.
Gotcha.
General. General Reed. I won't stick with the Star Dragons. They seem to be what's needed tonight. And thank you for watching us from Australia. Very much
Yes.
so.
Because if I'm not mistaken, you're watching us butt crack on right
All right. My card's sticking out for a reason. We're going to pull that. Oh, okay. All right, then. Apparently, they all said, okay, we're going. All right, bud, we're going. All right. So from this, it honestly, to me, it looks like that you've had an idea for a while that you've wanted to accomplish, but you're struggling with inspiration. You know, the idea is there, but you're waiting to be inspired to take and put it into action. And it honestly feels like, you tried something similar before, it didn't work out. So you're hesitant on trying to move forward with this. Because I keep getting drawn back to the grief card, which is accepting loss. But everything else is reading more toward an idea instead of losing someone, if that makes sense. Okay. I did an extra card for a little bit more clarification. Because at this point, you honestly have that choice. You understand the consequences of what happens whenever things fall apart, but you also understand what it means to feel success and feel what it is that you want to accomplish. And the dragons are actually being fairly nice tonight, because they're saying, give yourself that second chance. Give yourself that second chance. Quit holding yourself back. Give yourself that second chance. Because this one's definitely going to be a little bit more rewarding. Because the last card I have here is the Bliss card, which is cherishing the day. Yeah. Well, don't let that hold you back this time. Because that Bliss card is as loud as the grief card was in the beginning of the reading. It's telling you, give yourself that chance. Don't hold yourself back and actually push forward. Like Steve was telling Pam, there's a difference between an empowered woman and a strong woman. Don't let yourself hold yourself back. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Next up is Russell. It's general and an all.
General Reed. A slick trick named Russell.
Are you strong? All I can think of is that song.
That's why I said it that way.
Oh, I hope that helps, Gainer.
Ruby red lips,
Yep.
milky smooth skin, and baby blue eyes. Man.
And Russell, we miss you, dude.
We do. You need to come visit, man.
Absolutely. Next time you're on here, I won't take and get a reading from you just to put you on the spot, because why not?
No.
If you were willing that way, you're reading.
Okay.
I'm
Good.
here. Why am
You're
I
welcome. Russell, I take it you don't have questions, sir.
He does not.
Or are we doing?
Godspeed to you.
That way.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I said, shut up, you turd.
That's just general.
Okay.
You're very welcome.
Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're still doing a couple more readings, but we are probably going to end with Miss Rachel unless there's one that slid in.
Currently, we're reading for Russell. Next up is Cameron, and then there's Rachel, and then that's probably us for the night, y'all.
Okay.
Are we not doing marks?
Did he ask for one?
Did he ask for one?
Yeah. After Russell.
Oh,
shit.
okay. That one.
It was after Gaynor said hello to him.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's further up there in the comments.
Alrighty.
Okay. Then we'll add Mark in after Russell.
Yeah, we got you, Mark.
Yep.
I see the comment now.
Okay.
That was when I was getting the,
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
think at least. Maybe not. Either way.
Please do, Cameron.
We doing?
Yes.
Is this?
Bryson and Ferryman.
Mr. Russell.
Very interesting.
I know he wouldn't.
All right. Uno. Mhm.
Send me the
Part of it's making sense and part of it isn't.
Sellers of Discord is reversed.
So, proper utilization.
How's your studies coming, Russell? Specifically, how's the shadow work going?
Since literally what this is alluding to. Reason why we're asking, there's a lot of, we're doing a layered reading. So she'll place a card and I place one over top of it. So it gives both sides of the same coin at the same time from two different perspectives. And currently, all the matchings lean towards shadow work and intrusive thoughts. So getting hung on old processes or getting stopped by triggers or even to the point of not necessarily hitting a downward spiral, but hitting a stagnation, that there's a wall.
He said he hasn't really been working on it lately.
Okay.
So, this is Thief of Forms. It's coming through
Nasty.
a lot like
Nasty.
masking. Okay. So the reason that the deck that Steve was using tends to want a tandem, and the deck that I'm using is actually the Dante Inferno deck, and it's usually pretty heavy on shadow work. Don't get caught in the shadows, specifically hiding from your own shadow. If you need anything, man, just reach out. Transformation isn't always easy, and there's a lot of things that go into it. There's a lot of things that have to process when you're doing shadow work. Remember that acceptance and a typical death card in tarot aren't bad things. They can be scary because of the unknown, but in the end, they're not actually scary. Seduction in the shadows.
So that's literally what it is. Okay. So, from my end, as far as the tandem side of this particular type of reading, there's a need to cling to something because it is your identity. You're defining yourself by a past mistake or a past trouble, or there's something not necessarily that you're running from, but you've accepted in the wrong way. You didn't accept it as a lesson, you accepted it as a fault. And there's a problem with that. When we do that, we're giving into the shadow. We're giving into the things that, we would like to change. It's that whole resignation thing. Well, it's never going to be different for me. I'm always going to be like this. Be very careful of that. And the next thing, find something to cling to, something physical, a reminder, whether that's like a necklace or a ring or a stone or a picture in your wallet, a lucky handkerchief or a do-rag, whatever. Find something that you can cling to as a reminder. Something you can carry. That way, when you start to have trouble, you can hold on to it. Get back into the shadow work, man. Usually you'll find, and this is for everybody watching, usually you'll find that when you're in the middle of a process and all of a sudden, for no reason, you just kind of quit doing it, or it seems difficult, or it seems taxing, it's because you're getting close to something important. Keep going. You're going to find that there's some awesome shit on the other side. Last card. What's this one?
Grove of...
And there it is.
I
Grove of Lemons.
mean, on occasion, shadow work feels like you're eating a fucking lemon. That's for damn sure. But
And literally, coming full circle, the last two cards essentially say stop hiding. The disguise is failing.
Raymond?
I mean, a lot of mine goes along with what you all have been saying. There's a lot of questioning. Is this really making a difference? But when you're choosing to go with the flow, which flow are you actually choosing to go with? The one that's familiar or the one that's actually helping? Because it feels like you haven't really gave yourself the space to heal. And with that, it's definitely that stagnation they were talking about. And with the last two cards I have here, It was let go of the darkness. So do that shadow work and find what's actually important. You gotta find what's important to you to take and realize, hey, I need to finish this. So definitely look into that object that Steve was talking about.
Thank you for the kind words, Nisha. Nisha said, I'm still seeing the live stream. You guys transmit such good vibes. I honestly can't go away. Thank you for the kind words.
Thank you very much. That's really awesome of you.
And Russell said, thank you. I needed that kick in the ass.
Dude, we all do.
Yep.
You know, we're not giving advice that we don't need to hear too. This is helping us just as much as it is y'all.
Larry said, shadow work is rough, but it can be awesome. All you got to do is reach out. We're here for you.
Very much so. And that goes for anybody watching or who will be watching.
Yep.
Pam said, Steve, could this also mean awakening is awaiting for Russell, new beginnings, listening to intuition?
So that's part of the point of shadow work. The point of shadow work is to get out of your own way. Stop, denying certain parts of you that are actually healthy but perceived as negative. Or stop denying the parts of you that are a little to the darker end, the little more impulsive, the little more angry, or the little more cynical. Because when you deny those things, they wind up getting repressed. And when they're put into a box, eventually it's going to spill over. Something is going to knock the lid off, and it's going to be a massive problem for you later.
Yeah, you turn into me.
Nah.
I
So,
think you're fucking perfect, Tippy.
I mean,
You told me before.
I put a ring on it, so fuck me, I guess. So, but, that's the point of quote unquote awakening. You literally wake up from the nightmare, the dream, the non-reality, and you allow yourself to be who it is that you are. Awakening is not ascending to a new level. That's the misconception. Awakening is just fucking waking up.
Wake up,
Susie?
Wake up. Potato.
Quit hitting the snooze button.
Let's see. So, Mark, are you still in the
Mark, are you
comments?
still on here?
Marcus?
Let me know. And
We will move on.
tough love is meant to make us grow and learn. Mark Lee?
I think he was traveling, so he might have had to dip.
Yeah, probably so.
It's okay.
Mark, if you walk back, we'll try to catch you next time, bud.
If you make it on before we drop, we'll try our best to squeeze you in, bub. And for those who are watching, we do tarot readings at the last Thursday of every month. But we do a weekly Thursday night live around the same time. Usually it's around 9 p.m. And we usually have topics. So we'll hang out and we'll talk to you guys about certain things. But it's an informative hangout. So we teach things or we discuss things and take your all's opinions and your comments. So if you're interested in hanging out with us, we do this every week.
We do indeed. All right, next on the list, Cameron, are you still in the comments? I'm pretty sure you are, but just trying to make sure.
And while we're waiting on them to respond, for those that are across the pond, that is 9 p.m. Eastern throughout the month, and then the last Thursday of the month is 8:30 p.m. So we start a little earlier for tarot readings.
I figured you were probably next. I figured you were probably pretty close to Russell. Cameron's still in the comments. So Cameron wants an all general.
Okay.
And catching up on comments. Nusha, thanks for joining us tonight if you did. Because totally understand. It's especially since it's 2 a.m. there. And Pam, that's actually kick ass that you're writing a book.
Do it.
Do it.
Fuck yeah. So Cameron. Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Spirit animals.
Let's take a look. It's in a book, Reading Rainbow.
They're the ones that wanted to talk, but they don't really want to talk
Everybody talks
too much.
all the time.
Heather, we aren't doing readings anymore tonight, or well, we're not adding to the list anymore tonight.
You can get a hold of us if you would like to get a reading. You can get a hold of us, message the page, go to spiritmechanics.com and contact us from there, or go to info@spiritmechanics.com and we can schedule a reading for you. If you would like to wait, we do free readings like we're doing tonight at the end of every month. It's always the last Thursday. And normally we'd stay on with you guys and read a lot longer, but since it's a holiday, we're going to try and spend some time, try and relax a little bit. So this particular tarot night is abbreviated. It's Bridge. It's just love cannons.
Can it?
See? It's like a call from nature.
Cameron Blue. I'll read.
General. Okay.
We can definitely get a link posted in the comments here in a second.
Which link would you like there, Gainer? The website or?
Okay.
For those that are visiting the website, we're still under some construction. Most of our stuff is updated, but we're still working on getting everything back up and running. So a couple things may or may not be active right now. Bear with us. But you can contact us from the website if you have any questions or if you would like specific readings or energy work.
Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel.
So Cameron, you got a lot going on right now. And I know you're trying to fix a lot of things for yourself. And you're doing a really good job. It's really important to remember that right now you need to focus on you. Relationships with the self are extremely important. And right now it's really needed for you. You got a lot of change happening. So here's where I'm running into a bit of concern. So you have all of these awesome cards. You literally got the Nightingale Spirit, which is love is all around. Canary, sing your own song, both about taking flight and finding yourself in that. And then you got the Butterfly Spirit, which is transformation is beautiful. And you got the Grasshopper, take a leap of faith. And then you immediately got the Seahorse Spirit, watch and wait. So with that, okay, here we go. It's two separate things. All right. Okay. Let the idea that you're going with ruminate just for a little bit, because you're going to be presented with a couple of options and you actually need to take the time and figure out which one it is that you want to do. You're going to be presented with a couple of different choices. But in order to make the correct choice, you actually have to have yourself figured out a little bit more patience with yourself. There's a lot of change happening, and it's important to remember that as those changes happen, you have to give yourself time to physically adapt. Flying is a beautiful thing, but so is patience.
Okay. So the cats wanted to talk. Cats always want to talk. They never shut up. You know, I have 3, and they yowl morning, noon, and night, trying to tell me things that the human mind don't understand. You know, it's just a, hey, Dad, and I'm like, yeah, well, whatever. You're meowing at me, so I'll meow back. All jokes aside, this is piggybacking, but it's giving a little bit of insight into things. So right now, there's a real hurry up and wait situation. Uh, there's something that you're wanting to do, and you feel as though you're being held back, or you are actually being held back by certain honest limitations, whether that be financial, whether that be um, actual position, so where you currently are as far as where you live, current relationship. There's something that is actually actively holding you where you are, and it's causing some frustration. Usually, people reach out for readings when they need either, as people have mentioned, the swift kick, or they need some confirmation. In this one, you're looking for a way out. You're looking for an answer to something that you already have the answer to. Now, on the flip of that, you're being told to watch, be observant, to listen, to pay attention. Your opportunity is going to be there, and it's going to be quick. It's going to strike like lightning. Uh, and instead of being wishy-washy when that happens, instead of kind of constantly juggling, just weigh the scales and go with it. Uh,
No waffle.
no waffle, as the wife said. Uh, with this, you actually got the Immortal card, which is like death as far as the major arcana in this particular deck. And it's talking specifically about moving quickly and being curious about the motion forward. This is the time to actually identify who you are, because the final card that I drew was the Vanguard. The Vanguard in any situation is the precursor. They're the scouts. They're the ones that go in and take out key points and destroy other people's supply chains, or place bombs, or think of them as like SEALs or the Green Berets. You know, they're the first ones on the ground and the last ones out. The Vanguard in this particular case is you setting up for what is about to come. You're being told to wait because your shit's not together. Take the minute to actually get yourself figured out. Where are you at? What do you want? How is it that you want to move forward when you actually see this option come up? You already know what this is. You already know what you're ready for. Prepare for it.
Raymond?
Mine plays a lot off of what the other two have been saying. You know, it's time to stop looking at both sides and just kind of surrender to what it is that you actually want, because you already know which way you want to take things. Inspiration only comes from time and space, and if you're not giving yourself that time and space, you can't be inspired to move forward. And don't hesitate to ask questions. You know, that made a point of popping out, which was the wisdom card, and it's asking questions. If there's something particular you're looking for in order to answer your question, then sometimes you have to ask a few extra questions to get that answer. But I love the fact that almost every reading I've had has had this Cherish the Day card. which is you've already gotten some of it figured out. So give yourself a pat on the back for that. Quit looking at the things that aren't finished and enjoy what you actually have accomplished.
Hopefully that helped, Cameron. Alrighty.
Next.
Rachel, you still sitting in the comments? I figured you probably were, but
Rachel.
Rachel.
Rochelle.
because Rachel's a general all.
There she is.
Perfect. Alrighty. I see you, ma'am. All right. Rachel wants a general. Cameron said, thank you guys, it really did. And I know Russell will be a big help.
Absolutely.
You two can work on shadow work together.
Actually,
That.
Russell's good people or whatever. We know Russell, so we're picking on him. For those in the audience,
Because we bully the people we love.
well, I mean, it's actually true. If we don't pick on you, that
You have to ask why. There you go.
Okay. If you scroll,
Rachel.
Ralph. I'm using this deck. It's the dream deck.
Interesting.
If you want.
we'll cat again. Because if I can't decide, they're usually my default. Which means that my portion of this reading is probably going to be weird.
Tiff's reading if she feels called to. So far, it hadn't happened tonight.
Negative.
She's pretty much hanging out because I guilted her into it.
He did. He gave me the puppy dog eyes and everything.
I sure did. Look, I don't play the poor, pitiful husband card often, but when I do, by God, it's a trump.
When he does, he gets his beard French braided.
Hey, you know, it's worth it. I get to spend time.
Happy Halloween.
Bite me.
Later.
Ladle.
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 Oh, that'll be a story for later.
Yep. All right, Miss Rachel. What is the cat's going to meow about?
Raymond, if you've already got cards, you can start.
All right. The first card that I actually have literally jumped out of the deck at you, and that was the understanding card. And looking at both sides. So cards are literally telling you to take and be observant and pay attention to what's happening around you from all angles, because you feel like you're being challenged when you're actually not. I mean, you've already put in so much effort. And it's going to take a little bit more to take and conquer what you're facing yourself. Because it feels like you're starting to find your limits, or you feel limited in the process. But sometimes just surrendering to the flow and just letting things flow on their own will definitely help out more than trying to push past what you perceive as a limit. That doesn't mean not to be persistent. That just means to take and be observant. Sometimes that step back isn't actually a step back. It's just a chance to take and see what's going on around you.
Yep.
So we're doing a layered reading because that's apparently what the cats have wanted. Because my familiars talk through my cat deck. I have cat familiars that are associated with the major arcana. And when they decide to work, they work best with decks that are a little more abstract or specific tarot decks. So they like to layer their particular understanding of what it is that they are combined with the actual meanings of the tarot cards. So that's the reason for two sides of the same coin. Just explaining that. I'll explain the cats. So Pat is going to explain the tarot.
So, Rachel, do you want raw or do you want not raw?
How road rashed do we really want to be?
You want raw. You're going to be stuck in the same cycle if you don't let the justice mentality go. The justice that you're looking for it in the wrong spot. If you continue on the path currently, it's going to be fucking awful. You're gonna have to make an active change emotionally in order to get the things that you want, because right now you're too focused on other things to actually get the goal you have in mind.
There's something to be said about the particular cats that popped up. The interesting mashup, and this is the reason why Pat's probably giving the advice that she is the Justice card meets the Immortal card. In my cat deck, the Immortal card is the Death card. So, death is abrupt change. It's needed change, and it's unavoidable change. Transition. And the fact that it's matched with the Justice card means that nobody's safe from what's about to happen. It literally means that you're going to have to probably give up something to get what it is that you want. And what are you willing to give up for that? It's kind of a rough situation when it comes to that. So, the other one that I found really interesting is the combination of Innocence and the Wheel. So this particular card, Innocence, in this deck is like the Fool in the Major Arcana. Plenty of possibilities. The world is open to you. It's being naive and being carefree and whimsical and being able to accept things as they are at face value. The problem is that the wheel is in here with it, meaning that there's a cycle of missing something. There is, and this is the other part of why Pat was saying what she was saying, not necessarily rose-colored glasses. It's not that you're not observant. It's not that you don't know what's going on. It's that you're not seeing something. There's something that is right in plain sight that's not apparent. Like you're oblivious to it. And you do this repeatedly. You came about with the Queen card. The Queen card is the Empress in this particular deck. And one of the really interesting things is that you got a side of Emperor, you got the Empress, you got the Fool, you got Death,
Justice
Wheel,
and Magician.
all in the same reading. So, essentially, as far as what the cats are trying to tell you, you're being preyed upon. And the big thing here is that you need to be careful about seeing yourself as the predator. Right now, that's what's expected. People are expecting you to be acting like the big dog in the yard. They're expecting you to be the cat after the mouse. The big thing here is that you're the one that's being hunted. And it's something that you need to be very careful with and pay close attention to. What kind of justice are you willing to take? Yeah, you might catch that mouse. You might get that dinner, but it doesn't mean that you're going to survive the night.
Because that mouse could definitely be rotting.
Or that bigger dog just might kill your cat. Be real careful, chick. Right now it's kind of shaky.
One other card.
That definitely makes my cards make more sense.
One more card. Okay.
The Road, which in this deck is the Wizard of Oz,
Interesting.
reversed.
The Novice. Okay. So what's your take? And then we need to make sure that Raymond gets his time. So what's your take?
That's part of the reason why I had him start.
Okay.
So as far as the Road in this one, it literally is the Wizard of Oz, but here's the thing, it's reversed. So in that particular case, it's the fear behind Dorothy, her not being able to find her way back. It's really important that you remember you do have the way back. Just because you've taken steps down the current road doesn't mean that you can't deviate from that current path. It's okay. All you got to do is let people know. All you got to do is make a choice.
Thing starts and ends with one. And with this particular deck, the cat deck, basically they're all major arcana cards. So it's just which one's in play. And you currently have both sides of the Fool. You have Innocence, and then paired with the Road, the Wizard of Oz card, you have the Novice. This is the one that you have to be careful about. Make sure that you understand that there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is having plenty of information. It's reading the books, it's taking the classes, it's doing the interrogations, it's finding things out for yourself. That's knowledge. It's a bunch of stuff that you know. Wisdom is the ability to actually put it to good use. The Novice is a warning about not being able to do that clearly. It's too much information and it's overload. And there's always going to be a mistake made when you focus too heavy on certain things and not all things that you know. Sometimes it's a fucking yarn board, and one piece leads to one that you wouldn't expect, and then back around again. Take your time, think it through. It's going to make sense to you. It really is. It's going to be obvious, and you're going to realize that it was nowhere near as difficult. This particular situation literally pertains to something that is happening not just with you, but concerning you and multiple other people. Be careful about how far in the middle you put yourself. The crux of this reading is that right now you're slowly putting yourself in some pretty big danger by not paying attention or paying attention to and ignoring the warning signs. Be real careful, chick.
Raymond, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, but that actually made my cards make a little bit more sense to what I was getting. So
Alrighty. And catching up on some comments.
Cameron and
Absolutely.
Gainer, we're going back and forth.
Hopefully that helps a little bit. Alrighty, guys. Well, it is 10:05.
So we is going to cut it here. Thank everybody,
Yeah.
especially you guys that are, across the ocean, across the pond.
Yes.
I know a lot of you have probably dipped out, but thank you guys very much for being a part of things. Again, we do this last Thursday of every month. The rules always apply the same. First come, first serve for free. Stars will get you bumped to the top of the list. We were able to do the all reads tonight because stars were disabled. But the next time, that's unfortunately a gratuity kind of thing. But we do this every Thursday, so you can catch us as far as live stream. You can catch us every Thursday night. We have a topic, we hang out, we spend time with you, teach a little bit, talk a little bit, we tell jokes, we have fun. You're supposed to hang out with friends, and that's what we would like to be. So come and join us if you have the time. It's always 9:00 p.m. Eastern, and Tarot Night, which is the last Thursday of the month, is going to be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That's every month. As far as last minute announcements for those who are just popping in, Miss Joanna Dickey is no longer doing her classes or her events. So if you had planned on being there for those at our shop, The Missing Elements, she is not doing those anymore. So those weekends are now available to you. The 300 level series class is going to be the 16th of November. It is going to be on entities and attachments. If you guys would like to participate in that, it's going to be $60, and we're going to be hanging out for a little bit. I'm going to be talking to you guys about the most common entities and attachments, what they feel like, how to deal with them, what the symptoms are. And we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to workshop a little bit. So if you guys are interested in that, we're going to have the listing up for you here very shortly, and we'll get going.
Thanks, guys. Love y'all. Have a good night and happy Halloween.